I'm going to talk about a very influential speaker, at least in my life. In the last couple of years, I've heard Simon Sinek speak about starting with why and getting to why and understanding why. I think oftentimes as a company, we're very focused on the service and the product, and well, we should be. I think that if we don't deliver a better service and product than our competitor or colleague or someone else, that we won't survive, we won't grow, and if we're not growing, we're dying. However, I think that a core element that sort of defines what Lamb Facial Plastics and what my staff believe in is the why. Let me give you some examples, and then I'll sort of dovetail into some personal ideas of what I feel about this. An example is Apple Computer. If you ever read my blogs or you read my commentary on my website that really has nothing to do with plastic surgery, I always talk about how much passion I have for Apple Computer. Now, why is it? It's a computer. It's an aluminum box. I mean, why is that so powerful? And a large part of it, we could argue, is going to be because of the product design. It's beautifully designed. It has great keyboard functioning. It's easy to use. There's a great graphic user interface. But is that really the reason that I would like to say I'm a big fan of Apple? And if we get to the core of it, it's because I believe in Apple's vision. Think different. Be different than everyone else, be someone that is an iconoclast. And I look at myself that way, and so I want to be the why of Apple, because Apple gets to the core of much more than computing and iPhones. It gets the idea that they are different than the mainstream. They're different from everyone else. They're very focused on design. I want to pride myself as someone that is very focused on design. So the reason I truly love Apple is not just the design, which is the superficial external component. The core of it is I want to be like what Apple represents, the why of why they're here. Another example that Mr. Sinek has talked about that I think is very interesting is Martin Luther King back in the 1960s. The question is, why did all those thousands of people march on Washington? Was it simply because they believed in Martin Luther King? Of course, that's obviously the reason, but it goes much deeper than that. They didn't do it for Martin Luther King. They did it for themselves. They wanted to take that vision upon themselves so that they would be much more than just looking at a leader. They wanted to be Martin Luther King, and they wanted to assume his vision for themselves. And that's a core fundamental element of what we do here. Another example is if you think about Harley Davidson, the person riding a bike with a Harley tattoo on his arm. Is he there just to promote Harley Davidson? Are they there just to say, hey, I love Harley? No, they say, look, I subscribe not to the bike. I subscribe to the lifestyle, the philosophy, the background of what Harley stands for. And it's not a commercialization of the reason why they're holding a tattoo on their arm. That would be silly. It goes to the deep core of a why. Why do I get out of bed every day? I get out of bed because I love what I do, but I'm able to touch a life, I'm hoping, with each person that walks through here. A couple examples, even in the last day, I thought were profound to give you an idea. I had a lady that came in. She didn't seem quite happy or quite settled, and I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on. And I did some Botox for her. So ostensibly, she was here for Botox. But I found out she had a car accident, things were not perfect with that, and I just worked with some healing energy with her just to get her through her life circumstance, and she felt tremendous peace after leaving, and I felt that I was able to make a connection that was much deeper than Botox. Another lady came in from South Carolina for my services, maybe North Carolina, I think, let's just say South Carolina, and her daughter wasn't very happy that she had come all this way for some work. She already had done a facelift, etc. And my mom, who is very passionate about why we're here, of making sure that we are different and we transform lives, found that her daughter didn't want her to do anything further. And so she actually drove to the hotel and got the daughter to come and listen to our philosophy. And so she had the buy-in of understanding what we're here for. It's not just stealing people's money. It's not just throwing some Restylane in a face. It truly is getting to the core of making a connection with each individual that comes through here. Our why is truly to take care of people and transform lives. And it's something that I've talked to my staff about very, very much at a fundamental level. And so I hope my staff also doesn't look at the vision that we have here, which is so far beyond plastic surgery, and doesn't just say, hey, this is Dr. Lamb's vision. This is something that he owns. I want them to take that vision and take it as part of them. I want my patients to be crusaders on behalf of what we stand for and go beyond plastic surgery. You know, there was a lady in my yoga class, I actually didn't get a chance to really answer her when she asked me this question. It was at the end of the class. She says, how do you reconcile yoga with plastic surgery? And I thought that was an interesting fundamental question. It seems, you know, again, ostensibly that plastic surgery is so superficial in nature, and here's this sort of more left, you know, right wing, left wing type things, and how do you get these two to merge mentally? And I said, look, I don't see it as a contradiction. In fact, if you look at my blogs that I write every day, I don't even write about plastic surgery much. And I write, you know, about self-development, about philosophy, and about those things. And I was talking to Stephanie, who was filming this the other day. I said, why am I writing all my blogs just on self-development and all my video logs on plastic surgery? There's got to be a confluence there. And so that's what I'm delving more into of late. And so I wanted to talk to you about what I wrote and why I write my blogs. You know, a lot of people say it must be just for marketing. Well, of course, it's a great platform for marketing, but deeper than that, it's to help me help myself more than help anyone else. So these are not meant to be sermonizing towards you. It's meant to truly help me as a person. And what I wrote about, why do I write about self-development? How do I get that to merge with the idea of plastic surgery, which again seems to be very superficial in nature? And I do it this way. One, a lot of people are in need of emotional help, especially if they've had corrective surgery, if they need, excuse me, corrective plastic surgery. So they need me to help them at a much more profound level than just, you know, cosmetic changes. And hopefully that I can provide the whole package and get to the core value of why they're here, to help them in a deep level. So corrective plastic surgery is something that's very, very important for me to help people. I talk about forgiveness in another video of themselves for having picked a quote-unquote wrong surgeon and having done a wrong procedure. And that's one thing. The second thing is when people come in for Botox or fillers, other things, they want to be their best. In our life, I work out, I make sure that I eat as right as I can, and this blog series I'm writing about right now is about food. And so everything together is a package of just being our best in our life. And I think that involves emotions, it involves just being right with your body and your mind and your heart and your spirit. And that's why I think, to me, plastic surgery, if it's done not in excess but in moderation, like all things in life, it can be part of this whole larger package that really dovetails into the core philosophy of why we're here, why I get up in the morning. I get up in the morning to take care of people and transform lives, and I think my staff and my patients believe that. So this is a short video that's espousing Mr. Sinek's philosophy and putting it and personalizing it into what I do. And actually, just one more thing that's sort of relevant to this. I was reading his blogs and listening to his videos, and he did a video, I was watching his video the other night, he's talked about, you know, you should get to work and not have it be work. And I can tell you this is not work for me. I absolutely enjoy every patient encounter. I enjoy my staff encounters. I enjoy my daily encounters. I enjoy just being here. This is absolutely not work, and I'm actually just absolutely enamored with my 10,000th Botox treatment, which is as good as my first one. It's not the quality of the injection, which is obviously the core element. It's about how much passion I have for the patient interaction as well as delivering of the service and just interacting with human beings. So hopefully that short video about getting to why was a good one to help you understand why we're here.